Welcome to the 4 to 5. I'm Lauren Coleman here with Ben Briscoe and Chad Silver.
We have a lot of stories to get to today, but the first story, the big one we are following, we've got new details on a deadly shooting in Greensboro. Greensboro police now say 15-year-old Ronald Lee Snipes also died in a shooting near North Carolina A&T. He was a student at Dudley High School. His family asked police to share his photo in an effort to find who's responsible.
An A&T student also died that night, 19-year-old Kaneycha Turner. Police say the shooting happened in the midst of a large party on Circle Drive, making response efforts very difficult.
WFMY News 2's Avery Powell listened to the 911 calls for moments after the shooting. Avery, what a chaotic scene.
Yeah, we're now hearing more about what happened when shots rang out, killing 19-year-old Kaneycha Turner, a A&T student here, and also that 15-year-old boy. The shooting also injured 4 other people, one of them critically. Police say that during that shooting, there was a block party going on, but they say that Kaneycha Turner was not actually at the party. Her friends say they actually stopped nearby to go to the bathroom and were caught in the crossfire. Now we're hearing the frantic 911 calls as an operator tries to guide a caller through helping Turner.
Is she responding to you?
No, she's not responding.
Listen to me, sweetie.
Please hurry up.
Okay, they're driving. Listen, they're coming lights and siren, but you have to help me until they get there, okay? Now, listen to me.
Do you want me to turn her around on her back?
Flag the police down.
Turner was from Statesville and was studying management business administration. The names of the 4 injured victims, though, have not been released, and police have not arrested any suspects in this case so far. Coming up at 5, you'll hear from Kaneycha Turner's roommate who was with her when it all happened.
Avery, thank you. The shooting on Circle Drive occurred just 2 days into North Carolina A&T's homecoming week. And while the incident didn't happen at a campus event, several students were there. Last night, Chancellor Harold Martin released a powerful statement calling for action. It reads in part, "When such disastrous history is repeated in our midst, we ignore it at our own peril. The environment for this week's events will not get better unless we take decisive steps to change it." A&T President Wormuth Gibbs famously said, "At our university, we teach students how to think, not what to think. Students must now exercise that ability in social environments. In Aggieland, we often invoke the phrase, 'Aggies do.' Let us each demonstrate the truth of that slogan through the actions we take to ensure safety and enjoyment over the rest of the week."
Online, so many Aggies are stepping up to say, this is not us. We have got to stop this and give GHO the name it deserves again. Take a look at some of the comments we're seeing, just like this. The senseless gun violence has to stop. That baby didn't even get to finish her first semester in college. Sending prayers of comfort to the family. We're also seeing someone dying every GHO should not be a normal thing. And comments like this one right here. Apparently 6 shot, 2 killed. Put the guns up at GHO, man. Lots of calls for action just like that. GHO is not the purge. Act correctly. We've also got this right here. Rip to the Aggies who lost their lives yesterday. GHO is meant for celebration and enjoyment, not death and destruction. Echoing the calls right there to do better. So many people online echoing the sentiment of the chancellor in that letter too, guys.
Boy, it's just, I did my 2 cents on this today because it's frustrating and it's shocking that something like this has happened many years in our recent history. And I mean, tens of thousands of people come here because they want to be able to, just come together for fellowship and memories and reminisce about college. And this has just kind of left a dark cloud over that annual event.
Absolutely. Like we were saying yesterday, it's such a positive event with so many great things going on. So it's just sad to have an event like this sour what's going on. But I hope, with everybody, talking about let's do better, some change will happen going forward so it doesn't keep repeating itself again.
Chad, you were talking about how GHO's meant for making good memories. This is definitely not the kind of memory you want from an event like this. And it's not the memory you want the rest of Greensboro and the Triad to have with your organization either. So I think it's great that the school's getting out in front of this and trying to say, let's all do better. I know we can do it. Right now, we want to get to your 4 to 5 roundup, though. There's a whole lot of other news we've got to cover today. We have new details involving a nurse investigators described as rogue, claiming he murdered 2 of his patients at Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist. Moments ago, 2 Wants to Know confirmed Jonathan Hayes is also a former Novant Health team member. They sent us this statement today reading, "We can confirm that Jonathan Hayes is a former Novant Health team member. As a result of recent allegations, we're thoroughly examining patient care records to confirm the quality of care provided by Mr. Hayes. If this examination identifies information relevant to the recent law enforcement investigation, we will notify local authorities as part of our continued cooperation with law enforcement." Again, Hayes is accused of administering lethal doses of insulin to Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist Medical Center patients. 2 of those patients died, while a 3rd patient nearly died. Police have also set up a special hotline if you have any important information about the former nurse. You can find that number on WFMYnews2.com.
Well, even though Election Day is still 12 days away, legal challenges are already brewing across the country. More than 100 lawsuits have been filed this year alleging doubt over possible results. The cases call into question a range of topics, including poll watcher rules and mail-in ballot requirements. Republicans leading the charge say they're working to ensure a fair midterm election, while Democrats say it's a litigation strategy stemming from President Biden's 2020 win. Our biggest race here is for U.S. Senate. Ted Budd and Sherry Beasley are vying for Senator Richard Burr's seat. New data from Marist poll shows the 2 tied among registered voters. When it comes down to those saying they're definitely planning to vote, Budd has a narrow lead. If you want to vote early, time is running out. Polls are open every day until next Saturday. If you vote on Election Day, November 8th, you must go to your assigned precinct. We've got a voter guide answering all of your questions. Just text the word VOTE to 336-379-5775 and we will send you the link.
According to an amendment to the Constitution, the legal voting age is 18. But there's a growing fight to lower that number. Some communities are considering letting 16-year-olds cast their ballot. Hear from one young person leading the charge.
17-year-old Andreas Geffert already has a passion for politics, but he wasn't sure how to get involved in his hometown of Chevy Chase, Maryland.
And the idea just popped up in my head. What about 16-year-olds voting in local elections?
Geffert spoke with his town council, made presentations by Zoom, and successfully got the town charter amended.
All in favor?
Aye.
Why do you think 16-year-olds should be allowed to vote?
I think 16-year-olds should be allowed to vote because it will increase voter turnout and civic engagement down the line.
A small number of communities nationwide are considering allowing 16 and 17-year-olds to vote in local elections only. 5 towns in Maryland are already doing it. It passed in Berkeley and Oakland, California, though it hasn't been implemented yet. And this November, it's on the ballot in Culver City, California.
This is not a partisan issue.
Andrew Wilkes runs Vote 16 USA, a nonprofit organizing teens to fight for the right to vote.
They're writing letters to their local legislators and mayors. And in many ways, it kind of, they're being the change they want to see in the world.
But there is skepticism. Culver City's former mayor wrote an argument against the change, saying, quote, "These are not elections with training wheels so your children can warm up for the big elections. These are big elections." And some worry teens aren't mature enough to make their own informed choice.
A lot of people seem to think that young people will just vote based on how their parents want them to vote. What's been your response to that?
Yeah, the research simply doesn't indicate that youth voting is a mirroring of what their parents have done.
A lot of these local issues affect us.
Geffert argues if he can get a job and pay taxes on his salary, he should have a voice.
It does go back to that taxation without representation argument. I'm not sure how I feel about it, though.
I have an opinion on both sides.
Same.
So one, I don't think that that 16-year-olds are mature enough to make an informed decision like this. But on the other side, think about the percent of the population that votes these days anyway. I mean, if you can get some more people to voice their opinion, so the representative that they choose is more representative of the population, I think it's not a bad idea. And then maybe even these 16-year-olds can convince their parents to vote because their parents don't vote.
I had the similar thoughts, that maturity level. Is there an understanding of what this means, to vote? So it made me think of of maybe there's like a course you can take, say if you were 16 and you wanted to vote. Kind of think about like if you get a traffic violation,
I like that idea.
You have to take those 4-hour, 5-hour classes so your ticket can get dismissed. Maybe if you are someone who's 16 that's interested in voting, you take this course so you can kind of understand, you know, your rights and just all that good stuff. Because I think there's a lot of young people or just a lot of Americans in general who don't have a full understanding.
One snag might be too, you know how a lot of states, including ours, is trying to go to using voter IDs to vote. I mean, lots of 16-year-olds don't even have a driver's license
yet. Adults
yet.
don't have IDs.
Exactly. So I mean, that might be a snag in the issue.
I do think though that if a 16-year-old is going to go to vote, there's someone who cares about current events and politics.
Sure.
It's not going to be your like just everyday 16-year-old. It's going to be the ones who this really matters to them. And I think there's a lot of adults who vote that maybe aren't as informed as some of those 16-year-olds could be.
All right, well, if you want to vote early, actually, no, I'm not going to say that part. Instead, we're going to go straight to Tim.
I vote for...
Don't send any voters to me. I'm just the weather guy here to tell you all about that nice weather. Here we go, very nice weather still in the Piedmont at the moment, although it has been a bit of a cloudy afternoon. These clouds have kept our temperatures held back again for the second day in a row. It's been a little cooler, right? We look at all of our sky cameras right now. Some are seeing some blue sky while others are looking at a cloudy sky. That's the case in Greensboro right now, where the temperature is only 61 degrees. That has been the high temperature of the day so far in the Gate City. Mid 60s for Winston-Salem, some upper 60s to the south and to the east. But overall, it's a cool fall feel here in our part of the state. A little warmer where it's been sunnier to the south and to the east of us. No weather systems locally, so we're going to stay pretty quiet, mostly just with clouds and cool weather the next couple of days. But eventually that rain you see in the middle of the country will try to come our way. That's not until Sunday evening and into Halloween Monday. Next several hours look very calm. We'll be cooling down into the 40s overnight tonight. I expect us to be right around 43 degrees early tomorrow morning. So here's your planner for Friday. Kind of a chilly start, low 40s to begin with, and it'll be a cool day. I only have us in the upper 50s for Friday afternoon. Good amount of clouds, similar to what we've been dealing with for today, so mostly cloudy and cool. That's how Friday will shake out. And going into the start of the weekend, it's the same idea. Saturday, right around 60 with a good amount of clouds. We could start the morning with a little fog or drizzle, but most of the day will be dry. And then on Sunday, still cool, and that chance for rain is mostly afternoon and evening. On Monday, the chance of rain is mostly morning into midday. So hopefully we clear it out just in time for trick-or-treating. That's your forecast.
I'm tracking a really nice improvement in COVID hospitalizations at the state level. The latest patient count, 589. Now it sounds high, but it's actually the lowest number on this 7-week graph. This number dropped by 57 in just the last 24 hours. Now let's expand the graph to show all of this year. I circled the dates from the last graph so you have some context here. The last time the state reported a number as low as today's was on May 21st, more than 5 months ago. The lowest number this year was in April, a month prior. The state recorded a patient count of 344. Today's number is about 250 higher than that.
The ghouls and goblins and ghosts will be trolling around neighborhoods this Halloween after concerns about COVID and social distancing kept many inside last year. Patricia Williams is a family nurse practitioner with Navant Health. Though more Americans are fully vaccinated this year, she says trick-or-treaters are still at risk of getting sick this holiday season.
Yeah, we're now seeing more of our other viral illnesses that we really didn't see as much of last year. Not only that, some of our bacterial illnesses such as strep, pharyngitis is going around. All of these are contagious and highly transmittable. So we're not only contending with COVID this year, we're contending with lots of viral illnesses, lots of respiratory viruses as well, and we're also seeing some gastrointestinal viruses.
Williams says there are several ways to help keep Halloween goers safe. This includes wearing a mask, frequently washing hands with soap and water, and keeping hand sanitizer on standby. If you're feeling sick, Williams says it's best to stay home.
I know we all want to participate in everything, but sometimes it's very easy to think these symptoms are something very benign and they actually are COVID or something more that you're going to pass on to other people. We also have to remember too, common cold is also transmittable.
Williams says taking the kiddos to a trunk or treat is a great alternative to door-to-door trick-or-treating because it can allow for more social distancing. She also recommends waiting until you get home to eat your candy so you can ensure your hands are clean beforehand. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
All right, welcome back. It seems like we're rounding into that really peak fall color right here in the Piedmont. Just a couple of days before Halloween. This is typically the time of year that things look the best right here in the Triad, and we're starting to get more and more of these pictures. This one from Beatrix over in the Alamance County area. Great fall color in the backyard. Lots of the trees turning in just the right way. And got this photo yesterday from Jonathan Jones down in Randolph County. Highway 220, I-73. Whatever you want to call it. It's a gorgeous drive this time of year between Asheboro and Greensboro. Really looks good right around the Randleman area especially. So enjoy the views while they last. Right now we saw blue sky most of the morning. Clouds kind of took over throughout much of the afternoon, and now we're getting back some of that more sunshine, and temperatures may rebound just a little bit. Highs have been in the low to mid 60s so far today, so a cool fall feel is here, and we're going to see that continue and stick around into tomorrow and for the weekend as well. Mostly cloudy skies for Friday. I only have us in the upper 50s tomorrow, so it'll be a cool day. Same idea for Saturday, mostly cloudy and temperatures in the upper 50s to low 60s. Then by the end of the weekend, we watch this, our next weather system coming closer. It does look like Sunday late afternoon into the evening, and then Monday morning for rain, with most of that rain starting to shut off by around 6 to 7 o'clock Monday night. Could be an impact, unfortunately, for trick-or-treating. Tonight's cool, we're down to 43. Tomorrow's really cool with clouds. We're only at 59 degrees. And a quick look at the 7-day forecast. We stay chilly through the rest of the weekend. And yes, that rain chance is there from Sunday afternoon through early Monday evening. After that, it'll be a little warmer here in the Triad.
A group of black women recently returned from a trip of a lifetime, and they're sharing their experience to inspire others. The Outdoorsy Black Women hiking group has an extensive list of quests in the U.S. Their most impressive feat took them to the summit of the largest freestanding mountain in the world.
Good job.
They call themselves Sisters to the Summit, and earlier this month they reached the summit of Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania, Africa, an expedition 5 years in the making.
We want to see the world, and we want to discover places and take ourselves out of our comfort zones.
We all had to find our ways to train, so whether it was on the treadmill, doing small hikes in New Jersey, or going in Harlem.
12 women made it to the peak, one of the largest groups of Black Americans ever to do so. But 2 others did have to turn back because of altitude sickness.
I kept throwing up. I was really weak. My oxygenation went down to 56, and it's supposed to be at least 100.
100, yeah.
All 14 women shared their story on CBS Mornings. They say they were able to reach their goal thanks to help from personal porters.
Our snacks, our first aid, everything went with our personal porters.
So somebody's carrying it.
Someone's carrying it, which was very unique on the mountain because everybody who is climbing the mountain, they're in it, salt of the earth kind of people, granola, and we were the only group. We were the only group that had someone walking beside us carrying our backpack.
How many porters did you have?
72.
Oh, wow. Bigger studio.
72. We made it. We made it to the
summit.
And while 2 weeks later, some of the women still can't feel their toes, a few are already thinking Antarctica will be their next adventure.
All 14 women said they made lifelong friendships on the journey. All but one went as far as to say they would not make the journey again with a significant other. Well, a different group, the Outdoorsy Black Women Group, is coming to Greensboro. The impressive groups of hikers visits November 12th. They encourage anyone in the area to sign up for the monthly hike meetup. The group has not released where they will be hiking yet. I like this idea of having these group of hikers that are people of color because, you know, we often do reports about how Black people die at higher rates when it comes to diabetes or blood pressure or, you know, heart disease. So shedding that light on the importance of physical fitness. And growing up, I didn't see a lot of people who looked like me doing hiking, but I actually got involved and interested in that as an adult. So it's great to see organizations like this.
I think any hiker will tell you it was their friends that first drug them out there because no one thinks that sounds like fun. But once you do it, once someone convinces you, it's like magic.
Yeah.
It goes back to, remember the story we did a couple weeks ago where there was a study that showed that you could lose weight if you had better friends who did more outdoorsy things.
Not better, just more outdoorsy.
Right, yeah, maybe not better. And I mean, I love this because you can be there to be a mentor for someone else or be that push that they need to go another 100 feet.
Yeah, and hiking is just so different than just going on a walk around the track. Me and my sister went to Gatlinburg a couple years ago and we hiked some waterfalls. It took like one of them 3 hours to get up and 3 hours to get down, and you really need that person who can motivate you along and just so you can stay the course.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, we'll be right back.
Mic check, mic check. Can you hear me, Brad? Mic check, can you hear me, Brad? Kaneycha, it's 2 stories before me or just one? Like run down? Okay, I gotta add a couple names real quick. Hold on. I got you. I'll be there. But you got my
Welcome back to the 4 to 5. I'm Lauren Coleman here alongside Ben Briscoe and Chad Silver.
Thanks so much for watching us on WF1 News 2, Fire Stick, Roku, and the WF1 News 2 app.
And we've got a lot to cover today, so let's get right to it.
New at 4, we are learning that former state senator Stan Bingham, who served the Triad for over a decade, has died. His passing was confirmed by Denton's town manager. He represented Davidson and Guilford County residents in the Senate and worked closely with the WF1 News 2's team on several occasions. In fact, a few years ago, I and 2 Wants to Know and Senator Bingham, we all got together and looked at this state law that was changed, making it easier for people to report overdoses without fear of prosecution. The change was credited with saving over 600 lives in Guilford County and 1,700 lives across the state in its first year. Bingham was 76 years old and a service to our community.
We've also got some new details on a deadly shooting near North Carolina A&T in Greensboro. Police now say 15-year-old Ronald Lee Snipes also died in that shooting. He was a student at Dudley High School. His family asked police to share his photo in an effort to find who's responsible.
A North Carolina A&T student also died that night. 19-year-old Kaneycha Turner. Newly released 911 calls detailed the chaotic moment after shots were fired. Take a listen.
Is she responding to you?
No, she's not responding.
Listen to me, sweetie.
Please hurry up.
Okay, they're driving. Listen, they're coming lights and siren, but you have to help me until they get there, okay? Now, listen to me.
Do you want me to turn her around on her back?
Flag the police down.
Turner was from Statesville and studied management and business administration. Police have not made any arrests yet. At this point, they're trying to determine how many people were even shooting. We'll hear from Turner's roommate and friend tonight at 5.
The shooting on Circle Drive occurred just 2 days into North Carolina A&T's homecoming week, and while the incident didn't happen at a campus event, several students were there. Last night, Chancellor Harold Martin released a powerful statement calling for action. It reads in part, "When such disastrous history is repeated in our midst, we ignore it at our own peril. The environment for this week's events will not get better unless we take decisive steps to change it." A&T President Warmoth Gibbs famously said, "At our university, we teach students how to think, not what to think. Students must now exercise that ability in social environments. In Aggieland, we often invoke the phrase, 'Aggies do.' Let us each demonstrate the truth of that slogan through the actions we take to ensure safety and enjoyment over the rest of the week."
On social media, there is a big push from alum and students to try to get everyone to be a little safer during homecoming week. Just like this post right here, 1 minute you're here, the next you're gone. Praying for that young girl and her family. Let's stop the gun violence, please. We're also seeing posts like this one. So sad. Instead of parents planning to come see their kids, they got to plan funerals. Y'all got to put them guns up. We also have this one. We lose an Aggie every GHO due to gun violence. It's got to stop for real. And no parent should hear that their child died during what's supposed to be the most joyous time of the school year. My heart goes out to that girl's friends and families. Aggies, please stay safe. That message echoing across campus today too. The chancellor's message alone, you can see that this is something that the entire community is standing up and saying, we are better than this. It is supposed to be the greatest homecoming on earth.
I like seeing everybody coming together saying we need to do better, because as we've been saying over the last couple of days, this is such a positive event. So many people from all over are coming, and it's just so sad that something like this happens.
And it is very unfortunate whenever any losses, or any life is lost, especially during a time that's supposed to be so uplifting and positive like you mentioned. Unfortunately, this is not the first time that something like this has happened. During my time at A&T, we lost a couple students during that time, I believe in 2014 and 2016 during GHO as well. It's so somber, so sad, because it just puts such a damper on the week of festivities. And it's supposed to be a time where everybody's coming together, loving each other, as well as loving the university that always have advanced us so far.
And it's such an isolated event with bad seeds, bad, individuals that are causing this to happen, that you don't want it to deter people from, going to the university, participating in other activities, even outside of homecoming.
Absolutely, because A&T has such an amazing reputation across the Triad and in Greensboro specifically. But
Across the
since
nation,
it's
really.
happened, I've heard a lot of people around town, like at the gas station or in line at the pharmacy, talking about what this mess at A&T, and it's putting a black eye on them.
It's overshadowing the entire weekend. I mean, this homecoming has been built up and pent up, and people have been in the house for the last, what, 2 years now due to COVID and restrictions. And now for this to be the headline, to be the main talking point and the story of the week, it's heartbreaking.
Well, I think it is important to remind people that there's a lot more to homecoming than just this. We're gonna dig into it at 5:45, but right now, Jalen's got a little preview of some of the other positives.
You're absolutely right, Ben. There are so many celebratory GHO events, and there's a new one making a debut this year. The Journalism and Mass Communications Department, which I graduated from, is inducting their inaugural Hall of Fame class tomorrow morning. And today I was able to talk to 2 of the most influential people in Crosby Hall history. Her. Yeah, you do.
And A&T gave me the opportunity to try this, try speech, try dramas, try English, you know, all of those things. And that was great. I really enjoyed that.
Dr. Sandra Hughes' list of accomplishments and accolades could take days to list off, including her many years here at WFMY News 2 as an anchor. But being a part of the first ever class inducted into the A&T Journalism Hall of Fame is near the top of her list.
It's so special. I can't tell you, I mean, when I got called to tell me that I was going to be one of those honored, and I thought, what? Are you kidding me? Because I'd never heard of this before.
This inaugural class is made up of 7 distinguished alumni, and Dr. Hughes couldn't be more proud of her alma mater.
When I'm talking to my friends or people I meet on the street, I always bring in A&T, because, you know, that was a place that helped me become a person I wanted to be.
A second member of this esteemed class of journalists includes Dr. Tony Wellborn, who's been affiliated with the university for almost 60 years.
Well, I like being first. I think most people like being the first of anything, but this is something that hopefully will continue for on and on. So to be able to look back and say, well, Tony, you were part of that.
As a student in the late 1960s, a young Tony Wellborn and his classmates built the city's newest radio station right on the campus of North Carolina A&T. Fast forward to 2022, he's a part of the first ever Journalism Hall of Fame class. But if you ask him, he'll tell you he's glad he's going in with his friends.
That's the best part about it. The honor of being on the first program is good. Being part of the first program is good, but knowing that I'm with these people like Sandra and Gail Wiggins and people like that, these are people, like I say, I've worked with for years. So it feels good to be included in that group.
And a little fun fact for you, Dr. Hughes and Dr. Wellborn were actually classmates in a calculus class during their time at A&T, so they go way back. And now the other members that will be honored tomorrow include Mrs. Gail Wiggins, who is very near and dear to my heart, Mrs. Nagatha Tompkins, Miss Bonnie Newman Davis, Dr. Linda Callahan, who is also one of my angels, and Miss Dee Cherie, who unfortunately is no longer with us.
Boy, to be connected to so many of those, that must be just a cool experience for you to be able to do this story today.
Absolutely. And when I saw this announcement come out, I was like, okay, first of all, I got to get all over this. I got to make sure. I wanted to talk to pretty much all of them. I didn't have enough time, of course, because you know this thing only could be two minutes or so. But just to be able to present this to the people of the Triad, I just feel so honored to know them and to have them help shape me into who I am and becoming.
My question is, you know, interviewing these individuals and seeing that they started at the university you went to, same program, and seeing how their careers have taken off, how does that inspire you in what you do today?
Oh, well, that's everything to me. They let me know that anything is possible coming out of Crosby Hall. Dr. Sandra Hughes is, you know, a legend in broadcasting and journalism. But we have so many other people that came after her, before her as well, and we have so many budding stars coming out of Crosby Hall. I joke and I kid and I call it the goat farm now, because everybody that comes out of there is doing amazing, amazing things in the journalism world.
And Sandra Hughes, our shining star from News 2 here. I mean, I love how she's so humble that she was like, why are you including me in this?
No.
First of all, and that was my thing. I was like, all right, Dr. Hughes, let's calm down. You were the first name, you're the first picture on the flyer. Okay? If there was going to be a Hall of Fame class that goes first, you're going to be the first name. So please You can save all the humility for someone else.
The next time that you do an interview with her, you should do the interview in this building so we could all get a chance to see her again.
Yes.
Okay, I like that. I'll write that one down.
You just kind of hogged her.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, listen, we got a special connection. I know y'all all know her, but
right.
We got ours is a little thicker, a little deeper.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Jalen. That was great. Thank you, Tim.
Yeah, a lot of people might not know our newsroom actually has her name on the wall. It is the Sandra Hughes newsroom at News 2. And hi, Sandra, if you're watching. Good to see you. Hey, we're looking right now at blue sky coming back out. We've had clouds a good chunk of the afternoon. They're starting to go away. So now we're seeing that blue sky start to return just a little bit. Bit of a breeze as well. That's kind of a look at all of our Triad cities at once. Here's Greensboro. Notice the clouds fading away. A little bit more of that blue sky is showing itself through. But it's no doubt a cool fall feel across the area today. Temperatures right now are in the low to mid 60s currently. Where you've had more sunshine, you're about 4 degrees warmer. It's 66 right now in Wilkesboro, only 61 in Greensboro, 62 in Asheboro. So it does make a difference if it's cloudy or sunny on a day like today. A little bit more warmth to the south and to the east. No rain to speak of, and I'm not expecting that until the end of our weekend. This should be arriving by Sunday afternoon, lasting into Monday afternoon. But in the meantime, we'll look at clouds at times overnight, but really thickening up the cloud cover tomorrow. It should be a cloudy and cool Friday and a cloudy and cool Saturday. Very low chance of drizzle this weekend, but I mostly think it's just going to be cloudy and cool. I can't say it enough. Mid 40s tomorrow morning, upper 50s. That's it for Friday afternoon. So it's a sweatshirt kind of day for sure. Same idea for Saturday. Coming up, we'll talk a little bit more about timing for the rainfall that could be approaching us by Sunday and into your Halloween Monday.
Why do I have a mic check in here for you?
Because I'm in this next one too.
Are you?
You took me out.
Let's get to your 4 to 5 roundup. Right now, more than 1,000 Guilford County school students are behind on routine immunizations. The district is teaming up with the Public Health Department to help those kids get caught up. This week, they're offering appointments at clinics in Greensboro and High Point.
One is just access, and then another is just availability of a sufficient number of vaccines across the district. In terms of accessibility, it's also just funding. And so we want to make sure that our students don't have to pay anything out of pocket, but make sure that they're located in convenient locations across the district.
Parents can call the number on the screen to schedule their child's immunization. The clinics are open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Right now, the health experts are concerned about 3 major viruses: the flu, COVID-19, and RSV. The one sparking the most worry is RSV. 2 schools in the Charlotte area had to shut down because of the virus. Case numbers have more than doubled in 25 states over the last month, and it's putting a strain on hospitals. Cone Health confirms 72 cases at its facilities. Devant is in a similar situation.
Meantime, I'm tracking a really nice improvement in COVID hospitalizations at the state level. The latest patient count is 589. It sounds high, but it's actually the lowest number on this 7-week graph. This number dropped by 57 in just the last 24 hours. All right, now let's expand the graph. This is all of 2022. I circled the dates from the last graph to give you some context here. The last time the state reported a number as low as today's was on May 21st, more than 5 months ago. The lowest number this year was in April, a month prior. The state recorded a patient count of 344. Today's number is about 250 higher than that. We'll be right back.
Avery, he was so good. He sent me an audio.
Kaneycha Turner.
We need to just start doing that moving forward. Hey, ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie, they forever go together. Now skedaddle because my Hey, pumpkin. That's what I'm saying. That's framed good. Then we're going to go to after that, we're going to go to the God Cam, and you should have something on aux 1, and then we're going to go to the table. Mm-hmm.
All right, back to the news here, and we are going to show you some beautiful fall color from right around our area. To me, it's really looking like peak fall color is happening as we speak right here in the Triad. So we'll go through these rapidly. Some great shots just from our backyards across the Piedmont. Caroline Fry sending us that beautiful photo there. Nice water in the foreground. Here's a nice one from Stoneville. Thanks, Shelley, for sending that one in with the fall leaves, and of course the horse farm too. Similar story from Jody Gall with nice fall pictures as well. We're going to keep this going, I think, for the next week or so. That cool fall color will be with us, and then it goes away. Chilly air will be with us the next couple of days. Temperatures dropping into the low 40s tonight, only mid 50s tomorrow because clouds will be pretty thick as well. Same idea for Saturday. So the next 2 days are gray and cool, but they should stay dry. We're watching this next weather system that starts to arrive. So by Sunday, it starts to send in some scattered showers by the afternoon and evening. And then especially on Halloween Monday, we're looking at on again, off again rain in the morning and the midday and afternoon, drying up a little bit by the evening. For tonight, it's a little cold, down to 43 degrees. I'm looking ahead to the 7-day forecast. Not much warmth here, more clouds than sun the next couple of afternoons. If you want that sunshine back, we're really looking at next week. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday give us the best chance with the warmth coming back.
Hey! Pumpkin. I mean, we often call this a gourd or a squash. We think of a pumpkin as a vegetable, my friends, but did you know that botanically, a pumpkin is considered a fruit, as in a berry? What do you have to say about that?
Like a strawberry?
Well, the
That's
word
a big berry.
berry is defined as simple, fleshy fruit that usually has many seeds, which pumpkin does.
I feel like a berry you can just eat right away, but there's no way I could eat through that.
No,
Like you
that's
have to
true.
like break it apart.
Well, that's your definition.
So would a, cucumber or tomato be considered a berry?
But they are fruits. I guess. I don't know. All right, so let's talk about how we like to eat pumpkin. Here are the usual suspects. We got the pie. We got the seeds, we got the soup, and we got the bread. So Chad, I know you are partial to the seeds.
I am very partial. I don't even care about the outside of this. I only take it for the seeds and throw the vehicle out.
Okay.
That soup sounds amazing, especially in the fall and winter.
Oh yeah, good hot.
Haven't tried the soup, but I love bread and muffins, something like that.
Yes. So we put bits of cut up pumpkin in our red beans and rice. So Puerto Ricans, we have red beans versus black beans and rice, and we put pieces of pumpkin in it instead of pieces of potato.
That sounds delicious.
Interesting.
And I did not know that until I was much older. Otherwise, when I was a kid, I probably would have been like, what do you mean there's pumpkin in here? All right. So I'm going to challenge you all to this. Pumpkin in your smoothie.
That sounds like a great idea. I actually had a smoothie with sweet potato in it.
Okay.
And it tasted really good, and it actually kind of tastes like sweet potato pie.
Okay.
It probably would depend what else is in it.
In it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't want to add a pumpkin to like a blueberry smoothie.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it would go, does it?
What kind
All
of flavor does it give it?
Well, funny you say that. Consumer Reports is all about it. Let's see how pumpkin shakes out. Did you like what I did there? Get it, shake, smoothie? Okay.
Canned pumpkin is so easy to work with, and when you add it to a smoothie with some pumpkin pie spice, it's like having a slice of pie in a glass, but it's a whole lot better for you.
Our bodies convert pumpkin's beta-carotene into vitamin A to boost eye and skin health. Toss in some pumpkin pie spices like the cinnamon and the nutmeg, and you'll add even more antioxidants. Now, how about this for fall? Beets. The nitrates can help lower your blood pressure. Blend them with fresh or frozen berries for sweetness.
There are so many health benefits to berries. Overall, they can help protect you against heart attack and type 2 diabetes. And in the cooler months, frozen berries are a good option because they're less expensive than fresh.
All right, so I think I could do the pumpkin in a smoothie, but I don't know about those beets.
No.
I would try both.
I don't even know if I've ever had a beet.
I think anytime you eat beets, it's like a crime scene. There's like blood everywhere.
There's beet juice everywhere.
Yeah.
You really can't beat it though. A good
Dun-dun,
beet, you
dun.
can't beat it.
We're going to be here the rest of the week. All right, if all else fails, there's always a pumpkin dessert somewhere, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Happy pumpkin.
Well, if you haven't checked out our 4 to 5 live stream, you're missing out. We're talking about food, all things fun over there. And we talk about things we also don't discuss on the news. We even have an exclusive Facebook group. You're looking at it right now. Just click on the invite button and we'll let you in. We'll be right back. Let's do this thing.
There's still like some stuff that wasn't written. I was like,
Oh,
okay.
let me get over
Sorry.
here. No, you're good. Yeah, the lower blocks usually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, sweet potato, pumpkin, 1, 2. Today, a much somber scene.
Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey there. 2 quick things for you. 1, I'm supposed to tell you hi from Bill O'Neill.
He loved me. Did he tell you that?
Yeah.
Milk and an Oreo cookie, they forever go together.
Hi, we're getting ready to talk about all of this stuff with the nurse coming up.
NCA&T stresses that they have enough security. NCA&T stresses that they have enough security and police on site.
Kaneycha Turner's roommate tells me she was someone who liked to have fun. She wanted to make friends.
I want to talk about something that's both shocking and disappointing. A shooting this week at a block party at an off-campus apartment near North Carolina A&T. 6 people were shot, 2 of them died, including a college freshman. Police say she wasn't even at the party and was the unintended target. We've reported on shootings during homecoming week in the past. Last year, 3 people died, including a member of the marching band and another student. There have been others in recent years. It's a shame because it gives the entire homecoming week a bad image. You might be saying, oh, another shooting during homecoming week. Here's the problem. These isolated incidents are overshadowing all of the good things that happen during homecoming week. Tens of thousands of alumni come back to campus this time of year to reminisce and celebrate their time at college. It's also a great opportunity for current students to see the homecoming tradition they'll soon be a part of. University Chancellor Harold Martin Sr. sent a message after the shooting saying this must stop. He wrote, "The environment for this week's events will not get better unless we take divisive steps to change it. Let's hope it works." That's just my 2 cents. And your 4 to 5. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts right now.
I don't know who shot. There's 2 people shot. Can you please send 2 ambulances?
Yes, ma'am. They're driving while we're talking, okay?
Okay, she's not breathing right now, please. She's
All
still
right,
breathing.
listen to me. I'm going to tell you how to help her, but you have to focus on me and no one else right now.
Okay, I'm listening.
Okay?
I'm listening.
Newly released 911 calls describe the chaos Tuesday night in Greensboro after a shooting on Circle Drive. 6 people were shot, 2 people died from the injuries, the 2 identified as a North Carolina